So what I'm going to share with you is, in a nutshell, what I have learned, what I've discovered about AI, about storytelling capacities, about storytelling ideas, about storytelling techniques, and eventually putting them into writing, putting them into a picture. See, story crafting is all about drawing a picture in words. Okay, so this is the starting point, that what you are essentially doing is you are writing, rather you're drawing a picture in words. Okay, now the challenge is that many of us think that we are not good painter, we are not good artists, and as a result I cannot uh, draw a good picture or draw a beautiful picture that can attract somebody else's attention. Okay, this is a limiting belief which most of us are carrying for some reason. And something happened in the childhood, somebody told something to you and me, and maybe that was repeated twice and thrice, and eventually we started believing that. Now what God did? God created a system for you such that you can build up that belief in a dynamic new way. And that is what this artificial intelligence is all about, AI. Okay, now as I have already shared in one of my sessions before, that for me AI has three different, uh, I would say three different रूप, three different, उसको exactly क्या बोलते हैं, इंग्लिश में क्या बोलते हैं रूप को, क्या
Meaning.
Manifestations.
Meanings.
manifestation, ideas, meanings. Okay, so three different ideas. So first one is obviously artificial intelligence, as we say AI. Okay, the second one is attention and influence, and these are the two words on which the entire social media is running. It's a $1 trillion business today. Just these two words, attention and influence, attention and influence. People are influencing you to draw your attention, to grab your attention. Yesterday we were talking about marketing. Influence, people are influencing, they are using all the techniques to influence you so that you market yourself to watch them. Okay, I'm not getting to that detail tonight. So it's a game of attention and influence. The whole point is that as long as you are awake, your conscious mind is at its uh, alive state, you are paying attention to something or other throughout the day. So जब तक आपकी आंखें खुली हैं, जब तक आपको सांसें चल रही है, and you're conscious about it, you're paying attention to something or other. Scientists say that that attention is close to 60 to 70,000 thoughts that are coming to us every day. 60,000 to 70,000 thoughts. Incidentally, 95% of them, or in some cases, it is even up to 98 to 99%, they are all repetitive in nature. That's why you are doing the same job throughout the day, same things throughout the day. So if you're lucky, then at least you have 1% of the thoughts which are new for you. And if you're really lucky, you can find out those 1% of the thoughts to create a new way of living for yourself. Okay, the point is that am I conscious enough to identify those 1% thoughts, or maybe those 5% thoughts? If these 5% thoughts are new, like you are listening to me right now, so these are all new thoughts which are coming to you. You never thought about it because you don't know what I'm going to say. Now whatever I'm going to say, they are coming to you as new thoughts. Now neuro-linguistic programming says every moment we are exposed to 2 million data points every moment. And it's very easy to discover it in a daytime. In the daytime, when you just stand in front of a tree, close your eyes and open your eyes for hardly 1 second, close your eyes again, and you can see each and every leaf of the tree. So your eyes, your internal processing system is so good, so good, so powerful that within that 1 second, it is picking up 2 million data points. It is processing it. That's why you can see each and every leaf of that tree. If you look at the grass, you can see each and every blade of the grass. If you look at the street, you can see each and every stone chip which is there on the street. If you look at a wall in front of you, there are so many. So like our eyes can actually pick up 16.7 million data points per second. That's the range of the visible light. So out of those 2 million data points which we are picking up in that fraction, hardly we could focus on 6 to 7 of them. Hardly. Maximum it is like 7 plus minus 2. And out of those 7 plus minus 2 thoughts, which we are actually taking in, so we are discarding the rest. We are actually deleting the rest. We are not even focusing on that. So when you're looking at the tree, you are not looking at each and every leaf, right? You're just looking at the tree, that's it. Probably there's a cow standing below the tree and your eyesight went towards that cow. So you can only remember the tree and the cow, that's it. So imagine 2 million data points were there that arrived to your eyes. You're picking up only 6 to 7 of them. Out of those 6 to 7, you are doing two things. One is called distortion and the other one is called generalization. Distortion means we are making a meaning out of it based on the knowledge that you and I have. So I know that an animal like this is a cow. So this is a cow. If you have never heard of buffalo, you will identify that animal also as a cow. Now you go closer and you discover that this doesn't look like a cow. It's a different kind of animal. And what this animal is. So your knowledge base told you that this is a cow. But when you went closer to it, you discover that it is something different. So your knowledge base said that this is a horse. You went closer to it, you discover this is not horse. No, it looks like a horse. It has white and black stripes. This is probably a different animal. So then somebody told you this is called zebra. So your knowledge base increased. And you got to know, okay, there is another animal called zebra, which looks like horse, but it has black and white stripes. So this is the distortion that happens. And the generalization is we relate to those thoughts by applying any words ending with ly. Generally, physically, optimally, we use these words. This is called distortion and generalization. That is the communication model of the mind when we pick up any data. And then we store that information in our brain as an internal representation, as a picture. That picture has all the elements: visual, auditory, feelings, taste, sound, smell, everything is there. And then there is another sense which we called in NLP sense of senses, making sense of senses. So you store that information in your brain somewhere. Then you attach emotion to it. That emotion impacts your behavior. When that emotion impacts your behavior, you go ahead and express that behavior in your own words. That is called expression. So this is the fundamental communication model of the world. So your expression is an outcome of what you thought about something. And your expression is eventually leads you to action. Now, this is how the communication model of the mind works. And this is the same communication model of the mind which told many of us that I am not a good story writer, I am not a good storyteller. I am not good at storytelling. So that is the area where I did this research over last 2 months. Though I did it earlier also, but I just picked up, okay, how can we connect these dots? Maybe the storytelling, story reading, story crafting, and eventually putting it together in a way such that even if I do not know how to write, somebody is writing for me. And I can take the advantage of AI. So this third AI, the first AI is artificial intelligence. Second AI is attention and influence. The third AI which I talked about is Apna intelligence. Apna intelligence, AI. The A is Apna, Hindi wala Apna. So you really do not need to become a masterpiece in AI if you want to leverage AI. You don't need to become a masterpiece in how to design a bicycle. You need to learn the art of riding the bicycle. That's it. Once you do that, then you can do any kind of manipulation, any kind of game or take any kind of risk with a bicycle. Okay, you can play games. You can create new games. You can create new way of riding a bicycle. People do that. Okay, so the whole point is you have a choice. You want to become a cycle mechanic, you want to learn how to design a bicycle, or you want to use the bicycle. This is where Apna intelligence comes. You want to become a part of AI or you want to leverage AI. Okay, so I am into the genre of leveraging AI. I'm least interested in how AI works. I'm only interested in how I can make it work. Okay, so these activity which we did over last 8 weeks, We did a completely new innovative way of reading a book. We started
Why
with
don't you
reading
take
a
a
book.
photo, sir? Why don't you take a photo? There are
We'll do,
lots
we'll
of
do,
people.
we'll do. Let me continue the session because I don't want any break in the flow right now. So people who deserve the picture, they will be there anyway. They will be there in the end. So which started with reading a book. That is, I'm doing anyway. Maybe I'm just reading a book alone. I'm reading a book with somebody. I'm reading a book maybe with a group of people. I may be reading a book together in a group where a group reading is going on. What I have tried to do is something beyond that. I said, I'm not even saying like doing the book. I'm talking about living the book. And I'm not even saying just to leave the book. I'm saying, imagine what was going in the mind of the author when he was writing this. So whatever he is writing or she is writing is an outcome of his or her experience over a period of time. He collected many data. Probably he has read many books. He picked up some interesting points from different books, some interesting points from different sources, different videos, different white papers, different research papers. And eventually he thought about, let me compile them together and come up with something which can make a difference, not only to me, but to somebody else as well. And whatever they author is something that they have already gone through. So the idea which came to my mind is all about what this author would have gone through when he was writing this. Just live that moment without any distortion, primarily, without any generalization in terms of communication model of the word, and with actual active listening, exactly reading the word by word and connect the dots. That what he might be talking about. How can I see what reflection I can see for myself? Let me do the same activity and see what would have been there for me, which I don't even know, and something which I don't even know. It could be possible that once I do that, probably I will know what I don't know, and once I know what I don't know, then I can make an attempt to know about it. Like I don't know how to fly an airplane, but if I have never seen airplane in my lifetime, I don't even know there is something called an airplane pilot exists, and I don't even know that I don't know that. Ship, sailor. I have never seen a ship, a large ship, in my own eyes, which is being uh, driven by a sailor. I've never seen that. I've only imagined it. I've seen it in the pictures, movies. I don't know what would be my experience when I see it live in my eyes, with my own eyes someday. Same with aircraft. Somebody who has never seen aircraft, or somebody has just have seen aircraft flying high up in the sky, they don't even know how it looks like. Okay, so this is what we did, and we came up with another. I came up with all of your support, your contribution with this idea, from story reading to story listening. Story listening, story reading, story listening. Reading means actually reading, not just reading with eyes, but reading it out. Like just हम जब बचपन में पढ़ते थे, when we were children, we used to read books word by word in with our words, by spoken words. That is what I am talking about. Reading the book. That is how the author has actually read the book when he was writing the book. He was reading each and every word, thinking about whether this is the right word to put there. Reading the book, the story reading, followed by story listening. You are actually listening what the message that the author is trying to tell you. Story listening. Once you get into story listening, then you move to the next part, which is storytelling. Now you are saying the same thing what the author has written. Maybe just one paragraph, just two paragraphs. Storytelling. Once you get into storytelling, then you move towards the next step, which is story writing. Now, between this storytelling and story writing, there is a factor which comes into place, and that factor is that, am I good enough to reproduce? Am I good enough to write what I want to say? Technology came in to help us. Thanks to COVID, we all got to know that there are so many technology now available. So one of the technologies is you record what you are saying. You record whatever you are saying. Naturally, whatever you are saying is recording. See, the dots that I'm connecting is between storytelling and story writing. Just connecting the dots in between. Storytelling is what you're saying. You are recording it. Story writing is whatever you recorded, how that can be reproduced. The first step to reproduce is the audio transcript of whatever you said. Audio transcript. Today, there are many tools available which can help you to exactly write down whatever you said. When you are saying, most of the time you are not following any guidelines, no grammar, nothing. The only thing that you are connecting the words to express your perception about whatever you are exposed to. What you think is probably right, or your own interpretation about a certain event, a certain thought. So here comes the transcription part. Now you've got the transcription, at least you've got something in writing. Now you're not good at using those stuff to write a paragraph. This is where we start using AI. So now I am using my Apna intelligence to use artificial intelligence. The first tool that you can use as an artificial intelligence tool is ChatGPT. There are many other tools available nowadays, and you can be very selective about certain tools and create miracles out of them. So what ChatGPT is for me is probably something which you have never thought about. Okay, think about this. When we talk about law of attraction, it says law of attraction works, and law of attraction works and only works when you focus on the last 6 letters of law of attraction. So what are the last 6 letters? ACTION. So if you want law of attraction to manifest something for you, you need to take appropriate actions. Only then law of attraction will manifest it for you. If you do not take appropriate actions, you will manifest something else, which you probably didn't want to manifest at all. So law of attraction manifests something based on the actions that you are taking. It doesn't understand anything. It only understands what the action that you are taking. Even there's a famous saying that God helps those who help themselves. God also need to see that how you are willing to help yourself. What actions you are taking to help yourself. Like I am connected with a huge number of blood donor organizations. In fact, if you need a blood donor for any patient in anywhere in the country, you just need to ring one number, which is my mobile number, and this number is good enough for you to get donors arranged all over India. Not many of you know, but some people know. So I run an organization called Red Balloons. And under this Red Balloons banner, I offer blood donors across all hospitals in India. All, whether it's a small government hospital or it's a large private hospital. Okay. So nothing is done by me. It happens because I have this network of organizations who arrange blood donors for free. So again, coming back. So the actions that you take will only lead you to attract what law of attraction you are, what you are looking forward to manifest. All right. So when you take actions, probably somehow you get this number, my mobile number 9811109535, and then somebody calls me, gives me a message. And the only thing which I do is I just connect him or that person with some blood donor organizations. That's it. And the issue gets addressed. I do not do anything beyond that. Small action is good enough for manifestation. Now, So ChatGPT, let me share the power of ChatGPT. One, I'm going to talk about one tool. ChatGPT trains you. Listen to me carefully. ChatGPT trains you how to ask the relevant question. You know, universe, whatever you want to ask from universe, if you really know what you're asking, what you want, you cannot get it. Even universe doesn't know what you want. And many times what happens, you and I confuse universe by not asking the relevant question. So chat GPT, it works on prompts. Whatever you ask, you get the answer accordingly. It manifests everything based on the prompts that you give it. And incidentally, all AI tools work on the prompts. So you need to become an artist in asking or using the right prompts or relevant prompts to get the outcomes that you're looking for. So ChatGPT is an extremely powerful tool which connects you between you and your manifestation. So even if you want to ask universe to manifest something for you, go to ChatGPT and ChatGPT will help you to ask the questions. It will guide you exactly what question you need to ask, what kind of words you need to use to ask those questions. Sometimes when you ask ChatGPT to do something, it reiterates, it reframes, it says that, okay, this is what I'm going to do. Whatever you ask me to do, based on that, this is what I'm going to do. And then it comes out with the output. The output is what you are manifesting. Here, what we are manifesting is the story that I am saying, or whatever I am saying, converting that whatever I am saying into a story, into an inspiring story. So storytelling to story writing, we are using at least one tool, which is ChatGPT. Or we can use two tools for now. One is a transcriber, which is going to transcribe whatever you are saying. The best transcriber right now, which you can use, is Zoom itself. Even the free version of Zoom allows you to audio transcript whatever you are saying. So transcription is ready. You use the transcription, and I'll just share 2-3 prompts, which are just good enough to create the stories which I create from your sharings. All these 34 episodes which I have shared in PDF files, wherever those stories are there, those stories are being crafted by AI using your emotions, because I use those particular transcripts, and I listen to your own stories. Then I started writing those prompts to get to the emotion that it is talking about, and then putting it in a writing format, putting the story format, giving it the title, and then sharing it with you. So this is the zone of story crafting. From storytelling to story writing, ये जो बीच का जो zone है, the zone which connects story reading, story telling, and story writing is storycraft. That is where we are right now. That is the session that I am going to share with all of you. That's exactly what I have discovered. And once it goes into story writing, there's a new opportunity which opens up for you. And this new opportunity is that you can write a story every day. If you want, you can write a story every day. You just need to share an experience, right? Something which was exciting for you. So what will happen? You'll start looking for some events in your life which are really exciting for you. You'll come back, you'll share it, you'll just speak it out. You can just open a Zoom session. You are the only speaker over there. It really doesn't matter how you look. You say and you record the session. And I am telling you, only 5 minutes of recording can create a story out of it, a very powerful story, which could be a 3 to 5 minute read. Examples I've already shared with you. Imagine I'm doing with so many of you, so many stories. If you do it with your own stories, you can be even more powerful, even more effective in putting those words into a story format. Once you have these collections of stories, the next step is obviously to put it somewhere where people can see it, where read it. The best place right now to put it is your LinkedIn profile. You just create a page out of your LinkedIn profile, and in this page, you keep on posting your stories. Small stories. Even with pictures, you can find pictures or you can create pictures with AI also. Start putting them there. Create a network of readers. Find out people who are important for you. Connect with them, make them your followers. And imagine if you're writing even one story a day, one story a week, over a period of 6 months, you have at least 24 to 25 stories. If you're writing one story every day, 180 stories. More than enough to publish a book. A book of short stories, real life experience, without any plagiarism, without any worry of copying from anywhere, your own life stories, your own life experiences. You will become an expert in story crafting. I will just share a few prompts with you tonight. And once you start working on those prompts, you can create your own prompts. Even ChatGPT will start giving you ideas based on your way of thinking. And how about using this prompt instead of the prompt that you are talking about? And if you are LUCKY lucky enough, well, you can come out with a book every 6 months. Ebooks are good enough. In the direction I'm moving. So I'm looking for a team which is going to do this with me. And so I will take them along with me and we'll create that future. Now is the time to take the picture. So everyone on camera quickly. Wow. Super. So you know what we have to do, right? Look at the camera. Let's count 1, 2, 3 together. 1, 2, 3. Supremely awesome. So I have a question for you before I share those steps, that the steps that you can follow to create these story crafting skills for yourself. I have a question, which the question is very simple, that those of you who have participated in this game so far, so you shared your life experiences, you shared whatever you experienced by reading the book or maybe your own experiences from different things. Based on that, I have crafted the stories. The question that I have for all of you is, how did you find those stories? Your own stories, not the stories which somebody else is talking about or which where I was talking about. Don't get into those stories. Probably you have also listened to your own versions of whatever you shared, because I shared the video files also with you. And I requested all of you to listen to your own part, whatever words that you are using. Figure out the emotions that you are having at that point of time. Did you see that emotion in the crafted story out of that sharing? So we can take 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and just let me know. How did you find them? So would like to
Very
start.
nicely captured all the stories we have shared during all the sessions. Mostly
Mhm.
it was capturing all the emotions, all the actual whatever things we have mentioned. It was very nicely captured by AI. So it's a wonderful tool to use.
Okay. Okay. Keshav, Beenal, probably you have attended only one session, I believe. But we create a story out of your sharing as well. Mangala ma'am, so what did you discover for yourself? We can't hear you. We can't hear you, ma'am.
I'm your mood.
Is because I think the end product seems to be better than the output seems to be better than the input, because it is more systematic, it is knowledge based, it has more coherence, and I think that gives it a certain depth. And when you listen to it, you feel, oh, this is altogether new narrative. It's not new in the sense it has been so transformed and refined. That would be the right way to put it. So when it is refined, anything is more impressive and more impactful than otherwise.
Okay, yeah. How was it for you, Keshav? How was it for you, Beenal?
Hi, two things which I would like to say. I completely agree with what Mangala ma'am had told, except one thing that it was better. Like 3 or 4 days which I had attended the session, like one story or one or two story, I felt like it was not something which I wanted to convey. It was like, okay, it was an AI generated script. It had a different idea, but not something which I had to convey. And the second part which you asked, like when I listened to my own story recording, the video recording which you shared, the YouTube link. So I felt it was not so great, and I personally could have done better, or I should do better. So that is something which is my feedback for myself and what story the AI generated. But yes, 2, 3 stories which were generated was quite on point, and like ultimately AI is a tool. It is on us how do we use it. So that's it.
Super.
Maybe
So
I also feel maybe that now with this new perspective which you have brought out today, if we re-listen to it, maybe we would have a different perspective. Maybe.
yes,
And I
yes,
think personally, I would have a better perspective now, looking at on the background of what you gave us today.
absolutely. See, it's like, see,
So
I'm just
let
connecting
me
the
just,
dots,
yes, let me
the
find
gap.
some time to re-listen to it. Not me alone, but what everybody has had to put in. And maybe it will be better.
Yes, even eventually you can also write the story in your own way. Also, the whole point is that now you have something to work on. You know, where you could have uh, uh, put a lot of effort in putting it in the words. At least now you have some words in front of you, so you can rewrite it. You can create a new way of looking at it. Okay, so this is what we are talking about. So I will just share the steps that we need to follow. Okay, and I'm just sharing some basic steps. Eventually, what you have to do is you have to train your AI tool to catch your emotions. And once it catches your emotion, then you know that yes, now things are coming in the right perspective. So you'll also learn the art of talking. You know that this is what I said and this is what it created. Yeah. So now what will happen that you know that how to say what to say. And I'll tell you, if you listen to my recordings and if you connect, if you read the stories which I have written about myself and about my sharings, you will see a lot of connection over there. Lot of connection. You'll say, yes, this is what Pinaki wanted to say in just 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Because I am writing them, I am reading them, I'm writing them, reading them. I'm asking myself, is this exactly what I wanted to say? Maybe some sentences are not what I wanted to say. I change them. So this is the opportunity you have. So I'm just sharing the steps that you and I need to follow. The step one is you share the story or share the event or whatever in a Zoom session. That is the best thing to do. And you record it. It should not be longer than 5 minutes. Because I'm just telling you all the points. If you're taking it down, phenomenal. Because I'm not going to share this video. So you just note it down. Step one, whatever you want to say it with free, without any thinking. Okay, what I should say, how I should articulate. Not right now. Eventually, you will learn how to do it. Eventually, you will learn that exactly what kind of words you need to use while you are sharing that information to AI. So AI is basically your assistant. It's a personal assistant. The beauty of this personal assistant is that it does whatever it wants it to do, and it never gets irritated. It never says that I don't have time. It never says that let me give a break. Okay, it takes break when you're not using it. Okay, so you get a very powerful personal assistant. Use it as your personal assistant or personal secretary, somebody who is knowledgeable enough to craft the story that you want to write. Okay, so starting point is Zoom. Create a Zoom session, start it, say whatever you want to say, record it for 5 minutes. The moment you record it, it also records the audio transcript simultaneously. Step 2 is to take that audio transcript. There are many other tools also which you can use for picking up audio transcripts. And I'm sharing my screen.
No, sir.
And, pardon?
First step, you said that you need to share the story.
Yes, you set up a Zoom session.
Voice note.
You set up a Zoom session.
Acha.
Start that Zoom session, and you share whatever you want to share.
Okay.
Okay, so that is step number 1. I believe this is the one I wanted to share. No, not this one. Just a minute, let me open the screen where it is. Okay, here it is. So step 1 is record the session. And so can you see the screen here?
Yeah, but it's too what shall I say, too small.
Yeah.
Can
This
you
is a
zoom?
YouTube video of Bharat. Okay, let me share the audio also, then you'll know what I'm talking about. This is one of the sessions of this 5 types of wealth only experience sharing session. So this is what Bharat is talking, and on the right hand side you can see, I can see the transcript. So how I activated the transcript, when you come below, there is this show this. So when you open this page, it opens up like this. So you come below and you will find this description box. You click on this more and it takes you below. There you will find this show transcript. You click on this show transcript and you can see the transcripts. So this is what you can do with all the recordings that I have shared with you. Wherever your part is there, wherever you shared something, you can see the transcripts. You can take these transcripts. You can switch off the timestamps also. In that case, you can get the pure text. You copy this pure text, and the next thing that you need to do is open ChatGPT. Okay, so I'm opening ChatGPT.
No,
Okay,
sir, I wanted to ask that can't we directly download the transcription from Zoom?
Yes, if you're not using Zoom. And
Okay.
Zoom is for your own new stories. If you want to use the old stories, which I've already shared in YouTube,
Okay.
for that you can take the transcription.
For Zoom also, if you can share in a minute, like how do we download the transcription, it would be
Yeah, the
great, sir.
Zoom, in case of Zoom, this is what is there in Google. You can, I will just share all this search box, text which you need to put.
Okay,
Zoom
okay.
free edition supports audio transcript, and this is what the message says, that enable live transcript. In the Zoom meeting, click on the more icon and select live transcript to turn it on. When you do that, the transcript will appear on the screen, automatically updating as people speak. So here you are the only person who is speaking, so you don't need to do who is speaking. Otherwise, what transcript does, it puts the name of the audio of the speaker and puts the message. So in this case, you can avoid that when you are sharing only your story. So that way it takes the transcript, and you can also save the transcript as a .btt file. You can rename it as .txt file, and you can open it with Notepad. Okay, so this is how you can take it from Zoom. There are certain tools also which you can use along with Zoom to take these transcripts. And for this, you need to just search in Google transcribe Zoom recording to text free. So you can get these things. In fact, if you want, you can just note them down also. So I'll share it in the WhatsApp message, WhatsApp group. That these are the things you need to search. So this is for getting the direct transcripts. This is for getting the transcript through some tools. And this is for getting transcripts from the YouTube videos which I have shared with you. Okay. Are you clear up to here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody clear? Good. Now we will use the ChatGPT and the prompts. Okay. So let me share my screen once again. So here I am opening a new window and I'm typing chatgpt.com. So you can all see that. दिख रहा है सबको? This ChatGPT screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fantastic. Now, this is the first prompt that you need to write. Compile these statements of the speaker into meaningful, coherent paragraphs. Okay, I'll share this also in the WhatsApp chat. So what I'm doing, I'm just copying this prompt. I'm going back here and I'm copy pasting this message. So what I did, say for example, say one of the sessions, for example, let me take this one only. So this is what Bharat is talking about. So I just went here and I picked up, say, up to this, say, whatever he has said, up to this much, for example. I said copy. I come here and I paste it here. So compile these statements of the speaker into meaningful, coherent paragraphs. So it is doing it. Can you see this? That how it is getting manifested, how universe is manifesting for you. This is exactly how universe manifests. ChatGPT is your connection between you and the universe. ChatGPT is your connection between you and your manifestations. You know, God has created ChatGPT for you and me, so that we learn the art of asking the relevant questions. See, I wrote something, what ChatGPT wrote. Here's a coherent and meaningful compilation of the speaker statements structured into well-organized paragraph. So what I wrote compile these statements of the speaker into meaningful, coherent paragraphs, and it reframed it. That here is a coherent and meaningful compilation of the speaker statements structured into well-organized paragraph. So this is how you train your ChatGPT, your own version of ChatGPT using the prompts. And right, this is the way you can create more powerful and effective prompts. Did you notice?
Yes.
है ना, कैसे आपको सिखा रहा है, आपके लिए काम कर रहा है. It is working for you. It is training you how to ask the relevant questions so that you can manifest what you want to manifest. Extremely powerful tool. You know, you can manifest anything in your lifetime using this one powerful tool called ChatGPT. So see, now what it did, it created whatever I picked up from there, it created 3-4 paragraphs. Just read the first paragraph, so interesting. 3 types of financial mindsets. Today, I reflected on an important lesson in financial wealth. Imagine you are writing a blog on uh, LinkedIn, and it is already giving you what you need to write. But we'll make it even more powerful a little after a little while. So just observe what it did. There are three kinds of mindsets people have when it comes to money. First is the poor mindset. A person earns money and spends it all, leaving nothing behind, no savings, no asset, just consumption. The second is the middle class mindset, where people do earn and save a little, but they primarily create liabilities. They buy homes, cars, gadgets, and spend on luxury travel, often mistaking these for assets. More or less, this is what Bharat had said. Okay, so now I just compiled it into 3, 4, 5, 6, 5 paragraphs. So I just need to say that if it's a good response, I just need to say ChatGPT, yes. It's just like saying thank you. This is a way to say thank you to ChatGPT. You can also write thank you. Thank you so much for this wonderful compilation. Now we come to the next prompt. The next prompt is style these paragraphs into insightful and inspiring stories by the speaker and limit it within 300 words, and also add a catchy title for the story and a suitable emoji at the end. So you might have seen emojis at the end, which I put. So I'm just putting it. Okay, so style these paragraphs into insightful and inspiring stories by the speaker and limit it within 300 words. Now, why I'm limiting it within 300 words? Because I want to ensure that somebody can read it within 150 seconds. Normally, a good reader takes about 1 second to read 2 words, normally. So if you want this to be a 2.5 minute read, you must finish it within 300 words. If you want to make it shorter, sorry, 150 seconds means 2.5 minutes. If you want to make it shorter, you just make 250 words. If you want to make it longer, it should be number of seconds multiplied by 2.
Okay.
Okay. So now let us see what ChatGPT does. See, now it has given me so many things, and I'm just asking it to compress it, compile it into a meaningful and insightful story. I should write it story, not stories. Story. So style these paragraphs into an insightful and inspiring story by the speaker and limit it within 300 words. Followed by also add a catchy title to the for the story and a suitable emoji at the end. Let's see what it does.
भरत सर ही उड़ गए.
See what it did. From darkness to gratitude, a journey of mindset and meaning. You can change this also. You can ask ChatGPT to change this and it will give you some other headline. You can ask ChatGPT to create 5 headlines and it will give you 5 headlines. So today gifted me powerful insights into life, mindset, and the quiet beauty of the unexpected. I reflected on how people view money through 3 mindsets. The poor spend all they earn, creating nothing for the future. The middle class build liabilities, homes, cars, and luxuries, but rarely assets. The rich, they earn, build income generating assets, cover expenses from returns, and only then indulge in luxuries. It is not about how much you earn, but how you think. Okay, and then it did something and it finished the whole thing within 300 words, and it also ends with a wonderful quote: sometimes darkness shows you the light. Interesting. Okay, now I will share something more. I initially thought that I won't share it, but let me share this also. These are all the prompts which I use. Okay, let me do this. Say rewrite this into a LinkedIn post. Okay, so let me just copy it here and go here. So now I'm telling ChatGPT, thank you so much Now I'm saying rewrite this into a LinkedIn post comprising 120 words. So I want the reader to read this post within 1 minute. So I'm saying 120 words, 5 paragraphs, an inspiring headline, and appropriate hashtags. I can also say 5 appropriate hashtags. And let's see what it does. Okay, and let's see whether we can read it in 1 minute. Last night's blackout. Sorry, the headline says mindset, gratitude, and a blackout, lessons that lit me up. Last night's blackout turned into a moment of deep reflection. In the dark, even the teeniest stars shone brighter, a reminder that silence can speak volumes. You know what was this last night blackout? It was the mock drill which happened in Surat that night.
Oh.
So imagine Bharat is writing this story next day and he's posting it at 9 o'clock India time on LinkedIn. That is the best time to post your messages, either 9 o'clock in the morning or 9 o'clock in the evening. Last night's blackout turned into a moment of deep reflection. In the dark, even the tiniest stars shone brighter, a reminder that silence can speak volumes. I revisited the 3 financial mindsets. The poor spend all, the middle class collect liabilities, and the rich build assets. True wealth begins in the mind. A fascinating experiment proved beliefs shapes reality. Lucky people saw opportunity, unlucky ones walked right past it. Then came the gratitude library. 3 mental circles of people, things, and ancestors. A beautiful way to say thankful always. Darkness taught me presence, gratitude made me rich, belief made me see. Khatam.
It's too mind-boggling.
Okay.
So
And I'm just
great. Thanks, real thanks. But I only hope we'll be able to follow those steps and do it.
okay. So what essentially you need to do is you need to train ChatGPT to study your emotions and to bring out what you want to bring out. And see this, it gave this whole 120 word thing, it brought based on these 5 paragraphs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Whereas each of these paragraphs are good enough for a LinkedIn post. Okay. And that is why I said the sharing that you will be doing on Zoom should not be longer than 5 minutes. Ideally, it should not be longer than 5 minutes. Take the transcript, you put it in ChatGPT, use these prompts which I shared with you. I'll put it in WhatsApp also. I'll copy paste all of them. And slowly you start training. See what ChatGPT also did. Let me share the screen once again. See, it rewrote those prompts. Every time I wrote something, he rewrote it. First, this one here is a coherent, meaningful compilation. Second, let me know if you want a shorter version. Whatever, this is what you said. So before you said something, it said, let me know if you'd like a shorter version or want this tailored for a specific purpose, like a speech, blog, or social media post. So say you just want to make it a keynote address. So now you can write here. Thank you, ChatGPT. Please style this content into a keynote address, spanning say 500 words. and say yes. Go. So first thing which it did said, you are welcome. Because you said thank you, it said you are welcome. Here is a 500-word keynote address. See what I wrote? Please style this content into a keynote address spanning 500 words. It reframed it. Here is a 500-word keynote address version of your content styled for delivery with warmth, insight, and inspiration. Because these are the words you used previously. So it said, from mindset to gratitude, lightening up the wealth within. And you are saying good morning, good afternoon, whatever. So I say sweet evening. Let me take you back to a moment of complete stillness. A blackout we experienced just last night. From 7:30 to 8 p.m. Everything around us went dark. No lights, no screens, not even street lamps. But what seemed like a disruption turned into a rare gift. As we sat outside, disconnected from the usual chaos, we noticed something beautiful. The tiniest stars above were shining brighter than we had ever seen. That half hour in the dark was a powerful reminder. Even silence and stillness can illuminate deep truths. It got me reflecting on the lessons we so often overlook. Lessons about mindset, about belief, and about gratitude. Imagine, इसने क्या किया? So,
क्या नहीं किया? क्या किया? You're saying I'm saying क्या नहीं किया?
absolutely. And imagine that this is just a blink, whatever you saw. This is just an outcome of living the book. Connecting the dots with one event, some experience, half an hour of experience that happened last night. We just connected the dots, social wealth, time wealth, whatever wealth you want to connect, you connect. Then you use ChatGPT to story craft. The words that you said, convert them into words that can be written. Observe the emotions which are there. If you find that the emotions are exactly the same, that the way you wanted to say, it's okay. If it is not, you use those words. That I want you to add this emotion to it. And slowly you train ChatGPT. You can do it on your own. If you want to do it with me, I am ready to launch a course out of it. And I will be doing a complete hand holding for 6 months till you come up with your book for yourself. Okay, so
Yeah.
This is what it is all about. Thank you so much for all your attention tonight. It went extra.
No, your insights are just too powerful. You know, you create altogether a new narrative.
One thing I will do, I will create what I would say, a speech out of whatever I said today.
Yeah, wonderful.
Okay, I'll use ChatGPT to do that. And I'll check that whether it is using the same emotions or not, because that's why I have already trained my ChatGPT to follow my emotions. And I'll do some corrections over there. And I'll put it across to all of you.
Wonderful. We'll be more than grateful.
Okay.
Yeah, that's very nice. On behalf of everybody, let me thank you. It's not just sharing knowledge or skills that you're trying to develop in us, but I think the motivation is so strong that it keeps that we in every class we had a smile and we looked forward for the next one. Correct. So
I'd like to listen to others also, at least for 1 minute, that with this new awareness, what do you see possible for yourself?
I start competing with Sahil himself. I'm sure he's also made use of ChatGPT to write his book.
Maybe.
So maybe I would start competing with him. I've also begun to feel that you need half a dozen powerful words, which will, be, so to say, turning points in the story where they retain the interest. At the same time, they illuminate your curiosity. And so that takes you forward.
Very true. Very true. Very true. Thank you. Yes. Bharat.
A wonderful tool as such. I have so many prompts also with me, but I was not using. But with now this new awareness, I can use those prompts as well as for creating presentations, also for creating the video script, also for creating a story from this kind of learnings also. So it's and now it can be in a action mode, so that it can be attracted in my life. So that may be the today's purpose of your sharing this, to bring this to our knowledge so that we can actually use it in our life. Yeah, thanks for that. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, Keshav.
I think this concept of not just reading the book, living the book was kind of meditative for me. And when you read that slowly and the words of the book reflect, means you try to reflect it upon yourself, and so it was this was kind of a I can't express it, but what I felt, but it was surreal to me. And maybe like when I'm reading my next book, or when I'm continuing this book, so I'll do it very slowly and try to digest the book, maybe 1 or 2 pages a day, and let's see what it brings out. And about this tools of writing and these AI tools using the prompts to generate the content, means I have more confidence on my writing skills, so maybe I will not give it a complete pass, but certainly I can use it to frame the sentences, or maybe to make it more expressive or more attractive or something. Let's see what we can make out of it. I'm looking forward to both these aspects of living the book and using the AI to write a story.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, Milind. Last few words from you before we close the session.
Hi Pinaki, hi everyone. Yeah, I just joined the session. My meeting got cancelled, so I jump in. But yeah, today's session was awesome. But yeah, I haven't attended any other. But a special, this is I will add this into Apna Intelligence. This knowledge, yeah, it gives me totally different perspective. How in future I'm going to use AI tool. Okay. Otherwise, ChatGPT was just a simple tool, but now you added a different dimension to look at it. And for example, you put Bharaj's video, so actually it made more curious actually to go and watch the video first, and then listen to this session again. How it going to make a difference. But wonderful session. Thank you.
Yeah, and it's more interesting because now you're going to put it down. So, in case we've forgotten or we want to go back to it,
Thank you.
it will help. That would be the real milestones of what it is.
Good. So before we close the session, I want to make a small announcement. I'll make this video available to all of you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Bye.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night. Good night.
Bye-bye.
Good
Bye.
night.